Hey guys, Nike here. I wanted to commentate on our COE Path 3 speed run that you're going to be watching now. We go 10 minutes 39 seconds from the door opening, which, as far as I'm aware, is the record currently. This first part, we group up all the mobs in this little hallway, and we go to an LOS spot, and we DPS them down. Coming up, we skip the mobs in this hallway. You want to make sure you cripple them and dodge their attacks so they don't hit you, because they can one-shot, especially light armor characters. And you want to just slowly pull them to the end of the hallway and keep them crippled. Basically keep them off Spire at all times. Once Spire gets to the beginning of this narrow part of the hallway, you can let them leash and run to the back of the room, and Spire should make it pretty much every time. Once that waypoint comes up, you know Spire's made it, so we're going to go ahead and give her swiftness. Not sure how much it speeds her up, actually, but it can't hurt. Another trick we did, our warrior went over the door and is starting the alpha. He can't actually do damage to it until we pick the path, but what he does is he gets aggro and he pulls him to a good corner where it'll be easier for us to DPS him down. We're going to drop the fiery greatswords and the banners here because we don't want to stop our movement the second we get to pick path. And that's a big thing of doing speedruns, is never standing still to do anything if you can avoid it. As you can see, Alpha's in the corner. It isn't very hard for us to make sure we get the fiery rush off. One of our warriors did go down, but he will pretty much immediately rally, and it won't take any serious amount of time. We might have lost a second there with that, but no big deal in the grand scheme of things. You can bring the banner or leave them. It doesn't really matter, because the banner doesn't significantly speed up the next fight, and it generally won't last to the next fight anyway if you drop them. At this point, we switch to Inquest Slaying Potions. Unfortunately, this dungeon, you can't just take one potion and be good. You have to bring a whole bunch of potions. A lot of teams will LOS out here in this hallway around the corner, but we found it's faster to go behind this corner and LOS. If everyone runs in together, they don't go into range mode, and they will come over, and you can kill them. On this run, unfortunately, we had one that didn't go into range, or that didn't come in LOS and went actually into range mode. So we have to kill him a little bit slower. Here what we do, it's an interesting strat. We have the Mesmer leave a portal on the near side of the lasers, and the Mesmer and the Ellie get across. The Ellie's going to use Lightning Flash to press both levers on the far side, while the Mesmer continues up the stairs towards the Golem. What we're going to do is drop our banners now, so that when we go through the portal, we'll be immediately in the Golem room with our banners down, and we can start DPS. We're going to use Fire Embers to create fire fields. What will happen is the Mesmer and the Ellie are going to use Lightning Hammers, which is going to make sure that we have pretty decent might throughout the duration of the fight. Our warriors are going to rotate Mace 5s to knock him when he goes into his spin mode, so that no one has to dodge. We can just straight DPS, and it'll make sure that our Embers last a bit longer. This next Golem room, it's a time-gated laser defense event. The only thing that can really mess you up in this room is if someone gets defeated. But otherwise, we use this room to build up our stacks, Bloodlust or Perception, depending on what you have, or I guess what else you could build up might be life if you're bad and you use healing power. Most of our embers live. They don't really help much except when the big golems come up. So that's a somewhat benefit, but we'd actually kind of prefer the embers didn't live for reasons that I'll explain in a bit. When the golems come up, the Mesmer is going to focus pull them together, cast feedback, and then everyone else will DPS them down while the Mesmer retreats and guards the cannon. This ensures that we kill these guys as quick as possible without the cannon getting abandoned. I'm going to equip my Warhorn now, so that when this event is over, we can make the trash run that's coming up. In a casual run, you're just going to kill the thralls and everything and skip the A-bomb by running off to the side. But for these purposes, we need to just run through everything and skip. It is a very difficult trash run to skip the A-bomb and then the thralls, in our opinion, and from our testing. But especially if you get pulled by a Defiler, which is what happens to our Mesmer. As you'll see, there's a lot of places that you can mess up, and so getting a perfect trash run here is pretty interesting. At this point, we switch back to Undead Potions. See, we want our Embers to be dead here because what they do is if we get into combat, they're going to start attacking, and that'll pull some of the trash up with us into the next room, which is what we don't want. Unfortunately, or fortunately, most of the trash didn't pull, just the Wraith, which you can't really do anything about without a Guardian. And our Mesmer, you saw, got pulled by one of the Defilers, so he's farther back. It might have cost us a few seconds, but overall, it didn't hurt us too badly here. You want to make sure you have your Embers out for this fight. A lot of people would use Fiery Greatsword here. We found that it wasn't worth the risk, and it didn't save a great deal of time over using Lightning Hammer. This was actually pretty bad fight. We had a lot of things that didn't, luck-wise, that didn't go our way. As you see, we had a grub pull in, and the Wraith didn't get into a cleave spot with Alpha, and Alpha chose to randomly run away from the pull. So this fight took a lot longer than it probably should have, but overall not bad. We had one person crystal glitch, and we had to leave him behind to continue forward. But it didn't end up costing us any time. Generally though, Alpha will stay put on that pillar and you can DPS him down relatively quickly. This trash run can be quite difficult if the champion crab aggro's onto you and drops his lava fonts. The key is to stay out of combat as long as possible. Unfortunately, that is somewhat tricky to do, but if you can hurry across, that works best. I take the lead here because I'm in charge of the far laser, and I'm the fastest person in the party right now. We switch to Destroyer Slaying Potions for the Evolved Destroyer. With no Guardian, we have to be careful of his Dragon's Teeth, so my DPS rotations on him isn't going to be perfect. And unfortunately, I forgot to switch back to my mace, but the issue is that it's better to take an extra second or two and kill him cleanly without anyone getting hit by a tooth than it is to try to get risky and eat a Dragon's Tooth and ruin the run. Mesmer's going to open his portal, and we're going to be already at the chest, which will save a few seconds. One of our warriors forgot to go through the portal immediately, so he delayed us by about a second or two. But overall, not too big of a loss in time. We want to make sure we have our embers. A lot of teams will fight him down the bottom of the stairs there. We found that it just takes way less time to fight him here. Our third warrior is going to use Fear Me to get Alpha into the corner where we can burn him down. He didn't really stay put, so we didn't have the absolute best kill time that we could have got with 2 fiery rushes, but we also had a crystal glitch, which also hurt our DPS, but overall the kill is still relatively quick. And there you go. That is 10 minutes 39 seconds from the door opening, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope this guide helped you guys make your runs a little bit more refined and maybe give you some inspiration. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, hit me in the comments.